Thank you for tuning in to another video. I am Stacy, the creator of Twisted Kinks Crochet. And in today's video, I will talk about mixing crochet and plants. I am a plant lover. I have about 60 plants in my house, and some of them are in glass vessels. Some of those have dirt, and the plants are planted in dirt, and then others is just in water and rocks. So I didn't necessarily like the way some of the ones in dirt were looking, because the dirt started to leave a discolored ring around the bowl. It just wasn't pretty to look at. So I used the video that I did back in February of last year as my inspiration for the bowl covers that I'm going to feature today. So if you go to my channel and look at the video list, everything 2025, there's a short where I took a heart and turned it into a square. And then with 5 of those squares, I gave you ideas on what you could do with those. One of them being the bowl cover. So I use that, like I said, as my inspiration to do these, and they will be just, that's what they'll be year round. I use granny squares and I use granny hexagons. So I will talk about how we create those, and then how I use those how I put them all together to create the look that you will see today. I have another book that I finished last week, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And I'll give an update on the blues blanket that I featured in last week's video. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, let's get started. Oh, but before we do, hit like, please subscribe, and we'll talk about the comments when we get close to the end of the video. All right, now let's get started. So first, the book. It is Heart the Lover by Lily King. Let me read to you what the jacket says. Our narrator understands good love stories, their secrets and subtext, their highs and free falls. But her greatest love story, the one she lived, never followed the simple rules. In the fall of her senior year of college, she meets 2 star students from her 17th century lit class, best friends and living in the elegant house of a professor on a sabbatical. The boys invite her into their intoxicating world of academic fervor, rapid-fire banter, and raucous card games. They nickname her Jordan. Blah, blah, blah. Decades later, the vulnerable days of Jordan's youth seem comfortably behind her. But when a surprise visit and unexpected news brings the past crashing into the present, she returns to a world she left behind and must confront the decisions and deceptions of her younger self. So it sounds intriguing. The reviews, and I got to do better because I only read the 5-star reviews. I don't read the other reviews. So I got to do better with that, because this was deceptive. The 5-star reviews were deceptive. It is a good story. It's actually 249 pages. And on the very last page, I noted that it was nothing great, new, or soul-stirring, but a good love story after all. And a good love story in the end, but it just wasn't anything great. So I also thought this would be a great Hallmark movie. Heart the Lover, Lily King. I would not necessarily recommend this book, but if you want something quick to read, pick it up. If you are trying to run your numbers up, pick it up. But it's not great. Heart the Lover, Lily King. That is my book talk. So here are 4 of the bowl covers that I made. This is what a basic glass bowl looks like, and this comes from the Dollar Tree, but you can get them from thrift stores, yard sales, probably any craft store will have them. And so I had a couple of those, and I used the hexagon for this one, and I just started with it at the bottom, and then I did some double crochets around to shape the bowl, shape it into the bowl shape. And then just kept going and kept going and kept going until I got it the height that I wanted, and did a row of single crochets to cinch it into the top. Now I can put anything I want in there: pins, makeup brushes, obviously plant clippings. If you propagate, that'll be a great way to do it. And this one is just 5 granny squares. And they are, how many rounds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. 6 rounds sewed together with a little embellishment and stretched enough. Now this pot only has water, but sewed together, one at the bottom, and then 4 around for this one. I could have sewed the bottoms to the bottom to the sides all the way around, but I didn't think that it would fit nicely, so I just left those the way that they are. Some of the ends still need to be sewn in. Don't worry about that. And then we're going to come back to that one. Let's pan over here to this one. I love it. Anyway, this one was made the same way as the other, but a couple of differences. The bottom, I used the hat pattern just to the increases. So I did 6 rounds and then attached the granny squares to it. And then I came up and did a seam for 2 of them. And then I started going around with double crochets. I did not want to cut, sew it, cut, sew it. So I just kept going around, and I would either do a chain between them. No, I did a chain between, and then went back 2 more times with double crochets, and that fit perfectly around the rim of the bowl. And so there's that. I like this. I mean, you can see how discolored the bowl was getting. Now, yes, I could take the plant out, take the dirt out, clean the bowl, repot. But why? When all I needed to do was just make a cover for it. So if I need to see what's happening with my dirt, I have a slit that I can. If I need to see how moist it is, don't want to stick my finger in there. And if I don't want to see it, I can turn it this way, and there's that. So easy enough. I could have done a row of singles so that it would be a little bit tighter up here. And then for this one, pan back over to her. So what I did was I had let me show you. I had a African violet that I had done. So I used that as the bottom for this one. This was made with the hexagons, which is the same as a granny square, but you're going to do 6 sides. So if you have done the hexagon sweater or you've seen the hexagon sweater, this is the way that they start. Magic circle, and you do 6 double crochet clusters. 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, do that 6 times. And then in each chain 1 space, you do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. And then when you get to the next round, you'll have that space between your double crochet clusters and you'll just do 3 double crochets in there. So the corners, 3 double crochet, chain 1, the middles, 3 double crochet, a corner, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. There's your hexagon. So same concept as this one, the difference being the African violet was made. So I connected the 6 hexagons to the African violet. So they would have all been laid out like this around it. Then I had to decide how to connect each hexagon to the next one. What I did was connect one, just like I did on that one, on the other one. I just connected one side of 2 of the hexagons. Then I came up one side, the side of 1 with single crochets, and then I worked my way around the other sides of that hexagon with single crochets, and you can see this one, single crochets, and then I attached the 2 at the point and then worked up the side of the next hexagon with single crochets, the top of the hexagon, down the side of that same hexagon, but I left this bottom one unworked. Connected the points of the 2, connected the points of the 2 hexagons, and then worked back up with single crochet on this one, and then worked around with single crochet. And I kept doing that all the way around till I came back to my beginning. Then I just did a couple more rounds of single crochets just to tighten it up and give it the height that it needed. Once I got finished, I thought it might look weird. I should have sewn these sides up or maybe put them on differently. But as I pinch these together, and I might go back in and sew those up, put a little stitch. I don't know. I might. But as I pinch these, that created a different look, and I liked it. It reminds me of an old lamp. So to do your hexagon, 6 granny square clusters, granny clusters instead of 4, and then you work it the same way that you do a granny square. And remember what I tell you, there's no perfect way except what's perfect for you. I liked each and every one of the way that these came out. This one, the most interesting because of the little peaks. So good luck with that. And I tell you what, leave in the comments, if you are a plant lover, leave in the comments your favorite plant. Here's an update on the blues blanket. Currently working on a light blue section, the mesh section, and I haven't measured it yet because I'm probably going to, once I do my border, it's going to add to the width or length depending on how I turn this blanket. And this is all the yarn that we have left to put on it. So we are making pretty quick work of this. And I should have it done in this next week by the next video. I should have it done. And just as a reminder, I'm doing one section that has 4 rows of double crochets, another section that has row of singles, then a row of double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet twice, and then another row of singles, and then I repeat that 4 rows of doubles, single, mesh, single, 4 rows of double, blah blah blah. Well, that brings us to the end of another video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around and spending a little bit of your time today with me. If you will do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment about your favorite plant. If you want to see more detail about how I create, because I know in my videos I'm not giving you tutorials, but I'm giving you ideas. So if you really want to see how I created those plant bowl covers, leave that in the comments and I'll do another video that explains in detail how to make the squares or hexagons and then how I connected it all. And what else can I tell you? Don't forget that there's no perfect way except the way that's perfect for you. With that being said, I will meet you guys back here in the next video for the completed blues blanket and maybe another book talk. We'll see. Bye.